Yo, what's up YouTube? I'm going to show you guys how to make West Coast hip hop or G-Funk, whatever you refer to it as. So let's get started. So for West Coast hip hop, you want to stay at like 95 BPM, maybe between like 80 and 100. I like going to 95. That's like my go-to when I'm making West Coast. Alright guys, so first thing I like to do is my drums, and it's a pretty basic drum loop, at least like the first part. I just did a kick, clap and snare, and then a hi-hat, and I played that out on my MIDI. So I'm gonna record and I'll show you guys what I get, but it's gonna be really basic, at least for now. Okay, so once I played that out, I still wanted to add more stuff that I just couldn't add on the MIDI. And so I added this open hat, and that rides into one of the snares. There's a shaker, added in a clav, bongo stretch, gyro, and then a cymbal, flexitone, and then another open hat. So yeah, this is what that sounds like all together. And so some of the sounds that you should probably be using for West Coast, if you want like authentic sounding West Coast, for percussion, maybe some bongos, chimes, clavs, cowbell, flexitone, that's another one really popular, gyro, I think that's how you say that, rim shot, shakers, sleigh bell, snap, triangle. There's a bunch of different shit, but if you want like good sounds for G-Funk or just hip hop in general, check out Loaded Samples, this pack. I'm not affiliated with them, but it's a really good pack, so I suggest getting that. Okay, so once I had that loop, I went and I did a bass line, and that's another kind of important part for G-Funk is the type of bass. You don't want to use like an 808 or anything. Try to use this type. That's a good kind. If you get Mini V3 by Arturia, that has a lot of good basses, but like just maybe a nice sub bass or even a bass guitar, that's another good one. But it's pretty much stay away from 808s. It just doesn't, it's not as authentic, you know? So this is the sound that I'm using. I put it on stretch mode, normalized it, get as loud as I can. And then this is an important one. You want to come over here and truncate it. So turn all of these down except for hold. You don't got to mess with anything else. Go over here, cut itself, so then they won't overlap. Once I release the key, then the sound's going to stop. See. And so ended up just kind of playing around, and you want something kind of like funky or groovy, you know, like if you can bop your head to it, you're on the right track. So here's what I got right here. Okay, so after I had the bass, I like to get chords, just something to fill in that bottom end, you know, and found this sound. And you just want to keep it really basic. For G-Funk, you don't need like a crazy chord progression. I literally have 2 notes, same notes all throughout. So here's all of that together, what I have so far. Okay, so next, I just wanted like a cool little sound effect, so I found this. And for G-Funk, back then they did use like a lot of synthy stuff. Moog was one, Juno, MS-20, Yamaha. There's a bunch of different ones, and Arturia makes like a virtual version of each of those, so you could check that out. But I forgot where I got this one. But I pretty much just put that on the downbeat on a few spots, and then that fades in and out, goes along like that. Okay, so once I got to the drop, then I added in this weird little sound right here, and then that's when I added in a bongo and a little roll. That goes in right here. I cut out that sound effect. That rides out for a little bit, and then once I get to this next section, that's where I add in a sound. You just want to try to keep it interesting, have a good little transition, some sort of maybe a cymbal here, something on the downbeat on each thing, and then I ended up throwing in this sound effect. And again, I just took the same notes right here and put them here, so it's the same shit. It just adds a little bit of flair to it, so it's not so boring. So here's that. And a lot of the times, like after 8 bars, I'll usually just kind of grab my drums and pull them back or whatever, cut some kind of sound out at my transition. Sometimes wait a little longer, you know, but yeah, it ends up coming back here, transitions back into that sound effect, rides out here, and then I ended up throwing in a new melody just to keep it interesting. Here's the sound that I used for that. Just normalized it, stretched it, nothing else, didn't cut it either. and that's also from that kit. Like I'm saying, you guys should just go check this thing out. But here's what I got with that. One sound I also want to show you guys it's good to use. It's very common in that genre. I didn't use it for this song, but it's just a regular sine wave. You could use like a triangle wave, square wave, pretty much whatever, but I normalized that, stretch it, and then cut itself, and then you go here, quarta, and then mono with the slide, so then it slides between notes. And then I truncate this also, so turn all of these down and then hold all the way up. And then I also use these loop points, and you just kind of like adjust this until it hits like that, you know? So now it's just gonna repeat from here to here. And yeah, like I said, I didn't add anything with that, but I'm just showing you guys it. Very common. I'll show you guys like an example from a different beat I made right now though, just so you can get a good idea. Okay, and so I let that play out a little bit, and I have a little snare roll right here, or like a rim shot or something, and do a crash and an impact. And at that point, then it's basically the exact same thing. I'm just selecting all of this right here, you know, and then you're just copying it over. Same thing, just twice. But yeah, that's pretty much all I did. And to make it sound really authentic, I like doing this for all my beats now. Download an acapella. So whatever type beat you think it is, if you're making a Suicide Boys type beat, go find an acapella for it. And you can get anything nowadays. If you use, I think it's la.ai or io, but you can extract any acapella you want. I ended up using this Snoop Dogg acapella. It's Back Up by Snoop Dogg. And that's just to kind of show me if it fits the genre. I'll just let it play out. And there's also going to be a link in the bio to the instrumental and to the remix, just in case you want to go stream that here on YouTube.
High-speed chase, 405 is the freeway, slanging my banging, my swinging, my coupe, DeVille, scoop, DeVille, like that, right back top of the hill, wheel in my hand with a trunk full of contraband, swimming underwater like I'm Aquaman. I used to drink gin, I was vodka, man. Boss dog is a baller, no propaganda. Pop your band, don't try and stop the plan. I rock your land, step back and pop your man. Spaced out, caked out, no bugaboo, flipped out, cripped out, nigga, what it really do? Time brings change, so I changed my name. Trying to take flight while they clipping my wings. Groovy ass niggas see you tripping the game with nothing to gain. Plop, plop, popping out, bang. Cadillac, crocosacca, hip hopper, click clacker, tip tapper, pimp slapper. Ain't trying to act up, don't wanna act up. My nigga back up, nigga back up, back up. Hey baby back up, baby back up. My nigga back up, nigga back up, back up. Let's go to view, turn the track up. 30 days later, I'm back on the streets. Got a batch of bomb beach shit, I'm trying to eat. Feet to the pavement, money, I'm craving it. What about the bitches, dog? Are you saving them? Can a blind man see? Can a shark survive out of water for a week? A snitch is a snitch if he solemnly speak. I don't know now.